The Grand Valley Auto Sports Desk, sponsored by Grand Valley Auto.
Well, the playoffs are here. Every single high school basketball game from here on out has two very simple outcomes for a lot of these teams. Win or go home. With all teams across the state battling it out on the courts for a chance to play at the Denver Coliseum. Let's start off in the Class 6A bracket with the Fruita Monument Wildcats, who made it over to the Denver Coliseum games last year before eventually bowing out of the playoffs. Looking to once again kick off a deep postseason run. They welcomed in the Liberty Lancers out of Colorado Springs for round one. We'll join this one in the third quarter at a packed-out house in Fruita. The Wildcats already up big, and I mean big. Over 30 points heading into the fourth. Speaking of over 30, that's how many points on the board Fruita's star guard Jet Wells already had, 36 to be precise, almost single-handedly outscoring Liberty on his own. Fighting his way through traffic here after he gets the ball to score on the drive. Later getting a roaring round of applause from his hometown fans in attendance as he went to the bench for some much-needed air and maybe some Gatorade. But despite the Herculean effort from the coach's kid, he did not get out to that lead alone. One guy Liberty did not want to see loose in space. That's Daniel Thomason there, number 35, with another throwdown. On the other side of the court, Thomason playing pickpocket with the steal, and he decides to share the wealth, getting it up to Carson Weddle, who finishes things off with the lay-in. Fruita's passing game is just too fast and too smooth in transition. Lancer's shot is off the mark. Gavin Bradshaw is going to get the rock here after they work it up in transition again and drive with a vengeance. Then makes one more smart dish to Josh Husky, number 10 there for the score. Cats just playing with their food at this point. Weddle drops a dime to Thomason, and when it's all said and done, the Wildcats run the Lancers out of the gym. Wells finishes with 36 points, outscoring Liberty for a vast majority of the game on his own. And Fruita Monument not only advances, but makes a statement. 73-40 is your final from Fruita. The Cats now advance to the Sweet 16, where they will now have a road matchup since the other team on their end of the Quadrant 3 6A bracket, Thunder Ridge, also advanced. They took down Vista Peak Prep 59-43. That second round game in Highlands Ranch is set for Thursday. Speaking of the Front Range, that's where the Palisade Bulldogs found themselves in Colorado Springs, taking on Cheyenne Mountain. Another packed playoff atmosphere for the Dogs to navigate, kind of like how C.J. Mullaney navigates his way through traffic there to put the Dogs up 28-26 at the time. Home team Red-Tailed Hawks not backing down though. McCoy Huckstep, great name, hits the jumper, and another good one here for Cheyenne Mountain. As Marique Patterson finds his teammate for two more. Late in the game, Bulldogs, they need themselves a big-time bucket, so who else do they turn to? If you've been watching Palisade basketball all year, you know where this is going. Hunter Howard connects for three. These two teams went back and forth through regulation, where the Dogs battle valiantly, but ultimately come up short. 50-44 is your final from the Springs. Montrose also won their home playoff game, powering past Thornton. A lot of alliteration here, 46-39. They're going to advance to the Sweet 16 as well, where they draw a familiar foe, their fellow Southwestern League team, the Durango Demons, who upset the Rampart Rams. More alliteration. They did that in stunning fashion. Check this out. With just seconds to go in that game for Durango, Noah Miles, desperation heave, gets it to go from deep as the buzzer sounds, and they win 56-53, and now we'll head into that rematch with Montrose. In Grand Junction, the Tigers, they battle on the road, but ultimately can't complete their comeback bid, putting an end to the season for a gritty Grand Junction Tigers team. 34-41 is your final, with the Longmont Trojans coming out on top. You can find full recaps of the Nuggets' big-time win over the Detroit Pistons or the Avs' battle with the Minnesota Wild on our app or website. But for now, I'll do it for your look at sports. We'll be right back.